Step 5, naming your company. You've heard of Shakespeare's phrase, well, what's in a name? Well, there's a lot in a name, and figuring out what to name your company is a very important step. First, the name of your company should bear a connection to your brand's identities and to what you are trying to sell. Now, of course you can't define your entire brand in just one or even in a few words. But there should be some lineage that ties back to the what or the why question that we asked ourselves earlier. Step 2 in the naming process will involve doing some research to make sure you don't get yourself into trouble. Now, what do I mean by that? Is the name legally available? Sometimes, and you may not even realize it, certain names or phrases are owned, aka trademarked, and you are not legally allowed to use that name or phrase. For example, Nike owns the phrase "just do it." Marshawn Lynch owns the phrase "beast mode" for a number of product categories. Who would have thought? The word girl power, it's crazy. So doing a trademark search on uspto.gov is a good initial step to make sure that you are not infringing on anyone's rights. If you've done this search and there is no intellectual property issue, you need to check that there is no business entity bearing the same name registered in your state. The research then continues. On top of legalities, it is extremely important to be conscientious of your name from a marketing perspective. Check on the availability of the domain name, aka the website. You also want to check for availability on a variety of social media outlets that include but are not limited to Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Clubhouse. For example, you may want to call your vegan cookie company Healthy Treats, but I can pretty much guarantee you that www.healthytreats.com is taken across the board. So think of an alternative that will be available across all platforms because consistency is key in good branding and marketing. You may decide to call your brand Healthy Treats by Elizabeth Sutton or Healthy Treats Shop as alternatives. Do your research and make sure your brand remains consistent across the board. Stay creative, guys. Names are important and it's one of the first steps in creating your branding, so be conscientious of all that you represent.